Goodness gracious.
Are we doing 1 through 8?
Yep. Still waiting. There's at least one person from each group hindering the rest of the group. How terrific.
You're eating.
Two can have a point. I know you can't help what you can't help, but you understand me too. One can have a point. Did you finally pull out that math workshop? Then yeah, 5 can have a point. 4 can have a point. Okay, let's talk about these math workshops and talk about what I need from you today. Let's start back at the beginning. If yesterday you got stuck on the counting squares or counting rectangles activity, then that's fine, but you need to finish that first today. So if I didn't see your rectangle activity yesterday, you want to show me that first today before you move on.
I showed it to you.
Most people did, but some did not. So you want to do that first. Then we've got a new one. It's 3.3.1 handshaking. There is another pattern. There are a couple more questions, but seriously, once you figure out the pattern, it's easy to go. If you are having trouble figuring out the pattern, let me know. The sooner you let me know you're struggling, the sooner I can help you, the sooner you can get it addressed and get your life done. When you finish 3.3.1, I want to see it as well. We're putting all the things I've checked lately are going into 30. So all the ones from last week are already in. I haven't typed in yesterday's yet, but I'm going to work on it. We decided that the 3.5 exercises, that's at the end of chapter 3, we decided they were so important and so random that you have to do 12 out of the 16, and we're putting those in the 60, and we're going to say those are due when?
Friday.
Friday. We're saying they're due Friday. So if you said Friday, you can give yourself a point. If you want to lie and say you said Friday and give yourself a point, that's fine too. I'm not going to check on that. So basically, everyone have a point. I need help with these math workshops, and then, as promised yesterday, as soon as your group gets done, you know what, we'll finish the workshop, see which group has the lowest amount of points, and we'll add however many points they have. Okay, I need help on number 1. It is a factoring problem. There are 3 terms. Yes, dear? Plot, what? Oh, it's still blurry. Why you no cooperate today? There we go. Okay. You said you wanted to factor out a what?
Somebody said 8. Somebody said 8 for some reason.
Yeah, so Allie said 2, and then what else, Allie?
X to the third and then Y to the fourth.
Okay, Allie, and you can have the point. So we can plot a GCF. We would have 11 x squared, y to the third, minus 7 y to the fourth, plus 9 x to the third left over. Allie is correct. She got her point. Number 2, there are 4 terms. What should we do? 2 can have a point. If we do grouping, however, with it in the groups it is exactly right now, is there anything we can pull out of the first group?
1?
A 1? Yes, that's true, Tyler. You can have a point. Technically, yeah, a 1, but nothing really useful. And if we did pull out a 1, we would have x squared plus ab. And we pulled out a negative x in the other group, we'd have a plus b. And I'm sad. Why am I sad?
Because they don't match.
My groups don't match. But, you know what? This one's still able to be, we're not done. We're not going to say it's not factorable. It is factorable. We can actually rearrange our terms. Does anyone have a suggestion on how to rearrange it?
Change.
I'm going to leave x squared in front, but who should I put after x squared?
Oh, since you Change the 2x's to an x. Because you got 2x's.
I'm not going to do that. I'm literally just going to move them in a different order. Yes, dear?
Minus AX minus.
I'm going to put the BX so I can put the AX people together. So I'll put minus BX minus AX plus AB. And my thought was literally, this guy has 2 X's. These two have 1 X. That one has no X's. That was my logic. And then I made sure the 2 A guys were close to each other because when I group, I want the A to factor out. So if I put them in groups, I can factor out what in the first group? Table 3 gets the point. So X, X minus B. In the second group, I can factor out a negative A. And I'm left with what? Is it plus or minus? Which one? And then I'm happy. Why am I happy? Yes, so my answer is X minus A times X minus B. So just because we stunk at grouping doesn't mean it can't be done. It means maybe we need to rearrange our groups. Just how I feel a lot about my class, how I need to rearrange my groups. Okay, number 3 is my favorite problem of the day because its leading coefficient is easy. It has a leading coefficient of
1.
Tyler gets the point. So it's an easy factor. I need 2 things that add to give me 5, multiply to give me a negative 6.
6 and negative 1.
6 and negative 1. So 6 minus 1 is 5. 6 times negative 1 is negative 6. That's perfect. Craig gets the point. And I don't know why I said I love number 3, because really 4 is probably my favorite. Because it involves what? How I love them. Table 3 gets the point. I know 16 is 4 squared. So I know this is 4m. And the other factor has a 4m. What squared is 225?
15.
2 gets the point. Minus 15 plus 15. And you have opposite signs. That way the outer and the inner cancel out. And that is our final answer. If we were questioning Craig's mental capacities today, which we're not, but if we were, we could check it with FOIL. Are you psychic or right? Table 3 gets the point. Or do I just say the same thing the same way every day for a long time? Who knows? Okay, probably so. So to mix it up a bit, instead of going to number 5, let's go to number, what's the other one? I'm going to go to 8 because it's also perfect squares. What is 441? Something was, I don't know. I know 169 is 13, so I've got a negative 13h and a positive 13h. Yes. Yes.
What?
And she can have a point. 21 squared is 441. I don't know about you, but I made all my Albertu trig kids memorize the first 25. Now, are they going to take that calculator away from you? No, in real life. Do you know 20 squared is 400, so you can believe 21 squared is 441? Probably. You could always check with your calculator. Okay, let's back up to the one before that. Number 7 is an easy factor because that leading coefficient is 1. I need 2 things that add to give me a negative 5, multiply to give me a 6.
Add to what?
Add to give me negative 5, the middle. Multiply to give me 6, the last.
3 and 2.
Negative 3, negative 2, Allie gets the point. And you know what? Zach gets an extra point because he noticed, hey, 3 and 7 are really similar. Literally the difference between 3 and 7 involves signs. They had a positive 5, we have a negative 5. They had a negative 6, we have a positive 6. Literally what we've done is change signs between the problems. That's what's crazy. But literally just changing the signs has ended up changing the factors because the other one had a factors of the C plus 6 and the C minus 1. Ours are E minus 3 and E minus 2. Crazy. Okay, number 6, there are 4 terms, so we're going to do grouping. Tyler gets the point. When we group, what do we end up pulling out? Can someone tell me the final answer and get 2 points?
N squared minus 9 times n plus 2.
And let's see if she's right. So I know she factored out an n squared out of the first one, so she was left with an n plus 2. She factored out a minus 9, so she was left with an n plus 2. So n squared minus 9 and n plus 2, she is correct. She gets her 2 points. Good job, Allie. our last but not least problem of the day is number 5. Again, there are 4 terms, so again, it looks like grouping. When I group them, weird, strange things happen. What happens? What can I factor out in the first group? X to the 4th. I heard Sydney say it first. She can have it. And then x plus 7, y to the 3rd is left over.
Yes.
What about the second group? 2 what?
XY.
Yeah, I'm going to do a negative 2xy, but yes. So I'm left with a 4 y to the 3rd minus 7. And I'm sad.
Yeah.
Doesn't work. So, I'm not going to save you. Thank you, Alex, for the suggestion. And 3 gets a point, and we'll give 5 a point because Alex's suggestion of rearranging. However, you know, this is not my first class or my first rodeo, so I've tried rearranging this bad boy lots of different ways, and I still can't make it go. So if you can figure it out and make it go, good for you. I cannot, so I'm going to say literally there was only one thing we could do that no one said. So technically, we could do something. It starts back at the very beginning. There was something we could do at the very beginning that we didn't do. Literally, that's all I can come up with all day as to what we can do. Yeah, Craig said it first. So x to the 4th plus 7, x to the 3rd, y to the 3rd minus 8, y to the 4th plus 14y. I've even tried grouping from there to see if it would work, and it didn't work. And I've just decided it can't be done. If you want to show me otherwise, I will gladly give you some extra points on your next test. However, do not waste your whole class period worried about this factoring problem, because I really think technically we factored it by pulling out that GCF, because you know we consider that some sort of factoring at least. We will be brave and do 13 and 14 tomorrow. When you finish handshaking, because literally you're going to notice handshaking is super similar to rectangles. Super duper similar. So you're going to finish it pretty fast. When you finish it, show it to me. Your 3.5 exercises are due on Friday, whether or not you decide to be productive about them. Are there any questions besides Tyler who needs my help?
I was going to go to the
Yes, dear. When you get back, I'll help you.